Merry Christmas. God bless you on this Christmas morning. Hope that your day is filled with joy and laughter, lots of love and family. Excuse me. You know, one of the great messages of the book of Nehemiah is that no matter how much the enemy has come against you, no matter how much damage the enemy has done, there's a remedy. And the remedy is in Jesus. Hello, Brenda. Merry Christmas to you. Hello, Tracy. The remedy comes to us in the form of a baby, the birth of something. In the case of the world, it was a dark world. It was a it was a hard world. It was a lost world when the angels heralded that unto us a son is given. And as we've been through this book of Nehemiah, I'm just going to go really short today. Good morning, Connie. Stan, Merry Christmas to you. Connie, Merry Christmas. And as we see the book of Nehemiah unfolding and this work of God, I think the Spirit of Christ is resting upon this because he has always and forever been about rebuilding lives. He came to this world to seek and to save that which was lost. He didn't come for the well. He came for the sick. The well have no need of a physician. I don't go to the doctor when I'm feeling good. I go to the doctor only when I'm feeling bad. And when it comes to the world is going to turn and acknowledge their need for Jesus. Now, whether they do that on time or late, the Bible depicts that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. For he hath given him a name that is above every name. And I just thank God. Let me just say it like this. I thank God that I found this reality before I died. I found him before it was too late. I found him, and let me just phrase it correctly. He found me, and he started this process of rebuilding me, reshaping, remaking me some 40 years ago. And I just want to tell you that when we say Merry Christmas, I think inherent in that wish is that Jesus would be everything that he can possibly be and was meant to be in our lives. I'm going to read this morning from Nehemiah, yesterday we read from Nehemiah chapter 8, and we talked about revival. And we talked about how the people stood and how they confessed their sins because they recognized their emptiness, and Jesus, let's bring this to Jesus. Jesus, like Nehemiah, walked into a situation where the world was, their walls were broken down, the gates were burned with fire, the enemy was having his time. I mean, there was so much oppression. The Jewish nation was under Roman oppression. There was so much depression. There was so much sickness and disease that was running rampant through the day. And in comes the light of the world. In comes Jesus with a ministry of power and healing and deliverance. And he begins touching people. And of course, the whole purpose was to raise up a people, a redeemed nation called the church. And Jesus said, I will build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. So good morning. Good morning to Melanie and Lolita. Good morning, Rhonda and Jamie. And Jane, Mario. And I just welcome you. But I just want to read this. And And I just want to bless you today, and we're going to get on with our Christmas morning. But I'm going to read from Isaiah chapter 9. And I think we'll begin in verse 2. It says, "The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. And those who dwelt in the land of the shadow of death, upon them a light has shined. You have multiplied the nation and increased its joy. They rejoice before you according to the joy of the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For you have broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian." Remember, the Midians were always oppressing Israel. The Midianites are a type and shadow of Satan and his demonic forces. They were always out to say, remember, it was the Midianites that found some Midianite merchants found Joseph in the pit and took him out and then sold him. That's interesting too. Joseph's life is such a mirror of the Lord Jesus Christ. Joseph was sold by the Midianites for 20 pieces of silver, and Jesus was sold for 30 pieces of silver. And you and I have been sold for much less. And it says that you broke the yoke of burden, the rod of the oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every warrior's sandal from the noisy battle, and the garments rolled in blood will be used for burning and fuel of fire. So God uses everything. Nothing goes to waste with God. Every battle you have faced, every battle that's left you weakened or weary or broken or defeated, even the garment rolled in blood, bloody from the fight, God says, I'm going to roll that all up and I'm going to put it all to use for burning. It's going to warm you. It's going to be part of the process that I use to fuel the fire of my spirit in you. There comes a point where you get angry. Listen to me. You get angry over what the enemy has done in your world. You get angry at the results of darkness and all the death and devastation that the enemy brings into people's lives. Something inside you gets angry. Jesus was angered about what Satan had done to the world and to its people. The Bible speaks in terms that Jesus said that the zeal of thine house had eaten me up. The zeal, it was this fire. It was actually an anger, a controlled anger. A good fire, a safe fire, is a fire that's in control. It's a fire that's directed the right way. We need to direct our fire, our passion in a positive way, because Jesus wants to do something in us, and he'll use our garments rolled in blood and will be used for burning and fuel of fire. That's Isaiah 9:5. And then you get to the verse 6 of chapter 9, which is the one we all know. But you see, you have to know what comes before it to really set it in its proper setting. Because in this, all this devastation, this death, this darkness, this oppression, all that the rod of Midian, the devil and his oppressors have tried to do is break your yoke. He's tried to put a yoke on you and try to put a burden on you and tried to put an oppression on you. Are you with me? And so here's God's answer. Listen to me this morning. Here's God's answer that I want to remind you of today. For unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. And the government will be upon his shoulder. He will take the rule, the order of our lives on his shoulders. no matter how messed up, no matter how broken down the walls, no matter how the gates are burned with fire, no matter how bad decisions you've made, no matter how bad you've messed up, he will take the government of our lives, the government, upon his shoulder. And his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Whew. Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, and of the increase of his government and peace. Let me say this again, of the increase, the prosperity, the favor, the increase of his government and his peace, there will be no end. Upon the throne of David and over his kingdom to order it, to put our lives back in order. This was the whole message of the book of Nehemiah. Let's get things back in order. The walls have been broken down. The gates are burned with fire. Jesus came. He said, I've got to get things back in order in your life. So yes, I'm going to judge some things, but my judgment is unto mercy. My judgment is so you'll see what you're really looking and what you're really fighting and what you really need. And that you won't waste your life running after useless, worthless things. Upon the throne of David and over his kingdom to order it, to establish it with judgment and justice. From that time forward, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Many of us are crying out, oh God, how long? Oh God, how long? And he promises you, my zeal will perform this. The zeal of my house has eaten me up. And he is roaring through your life, roaring through Zion to rebuild and to restore. Hello, John. So I just want to tell you that this morning, every gift, every laugh, every joy, every song, every reminisce, everything that is good about our lives. He says, hang in here because I'm about to walk through your life. I'm about to put things in order. I'm about to take the government on my shoulder. And when I get done, you won't be weeping in a puddle of tears, regretting. You'll be saying, Wonderful, Counselor. Oh, mighty God, Everlasting Father, and my Prince of Peace. Father, I pray today for Connie. I pray for John and Bev. I pray for Lolita. I pray for Roseanne. I pray for Kathy and Stan. And I call each one out, Mario, Jane, and Jamie, and Tracy, and Rhonda, and Melanie. I call them all out, oh God, Roseanne, Ronald, Connie. I pray, God, for Brenda. I pray, God, for those who will watch this later. I pray, Lord, that you will reveal yourself this morning in that perfect gift, in the perfect coming of that gift, in a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes. His name is wonderful. Your name, Lord, is wonderful. Counselor, mighty God, the everlasting Father, Prince of Peace you are. God, I pray that the Christmas message will not get lost in all of our other endeavors and giftings and trappings and rushing about to get a meal served. It'll be, Lord, in our lives being rebuilt and the ability to sit with our families, to sit with friends today and rejoice. For unto us a son is given. Unto us a son is given. Unto us the greatest gift I've ever received in my entire life was given, and his name is Jesus. Wonderful. You're Counselor. You're mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. I bless you today. I pray that this Christ of Christmas will shine in your hearts, renew and restore everything that's broken. Let him take the government of your life. Let him take the government and put it on his shoulders. Come ye all that are weary and heavy laden, for I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy and my burden fits. In Jesus' name, God bless you.